I trust Baker's chaos arm, the magic that he brings a little bit more than, Sam Darnold's roller coaster of an arm. So I'm going to take the Bucs.
Who's going to be right? Who's going to be wrong? Who's going to be the loser? Who's going to be the winner? Find out next week.
Oh, shit.
But hey,
the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST.
All right, let's get into these games heading into week 5. And of course, we are going to start with the Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 3-1 Buccaneers are taking on the 3-1 Seattle Seahawks. James, break this one down for us.
Exciting game, right? Actually, fun fact, there's so much story between these two teams, right? Actually, they both started the same year, 1976. So that's kind of a fun little story note there. Obviously, two quarterbacks with revived careers in Baker Mayfield and in Sam Darnold. This is going to be a tough game. Right? The Seattle Seahawks are definitely a well-built team, but they did lose a good amount of talent, in my opinion, whenever they traded away DK Metcalf for Cooper Kupp. I will actually give the Buccaneers a win here. I think that they are definitely looking to get a win back here, and it is going to be traveling to Seattle, which is always going to be a difficult environment to play in, especially since the Bucs are traveling all the way from Florida. But I do have confidence, despite a lot of injuries that they have going on right now. We'll find out more about some of those injuries later on in the week. I do think that they will get a bounce back win here against an overall pretty solid Seattle Seahawks team.
All right, we're getting James here, who is taking his team for the bounce back in week 5. Berto, let's go on over to you. Are you also going to take the Buccaneers for the bounce back?
Yes. Safe bet. Taking Tampa Bay in this one. I think it's going to be a good bounce back game for him. I think Baker will settle down, learn from the mistakes that he did, maybe take care of the ball a little bit more. But I think we're going to still see more magic from Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin comes back, gets another game under his belt there. They're going to form a nice little duo there with Ibuka and Godwin. I'd like to see Cade Otton get, involved a little bit more in this offense. But otherwise, Bucky Irving, we got to, look out for his diagnosis too, if he's hurt or not. I mean, James can allude to that or not. But I see Tampa Bay getting their W back in this one over Seattle.
I'd rather not allude to it. Thank you.
No?
We got two Tampa
Does it look bad?
Bays, baby. Two Tampa Bays. Let's see if Clay will make it 3 out of 3.
It's really going to come down to which quarterback cracks first, I think, between Baker and Darnold. This Seattle's defense is very opportunistic. They generate a lot of turnovers in bunches. Baker's only thrown 1 pick all season, so he's been the best in these tight late game moments, as we've seen all season. I expect a back and forth game where neither team fully pulls away. I think Seattle will try to rattle Baker with pressure. I think this Tampa Bay receiving duo, as Berto was alluded to, can flip a game in one play for sure. So I trust Baker's chaos arm, the magic that he brings a little bit more than, Sam Darnold's roller coaster of an arm. So I'm going to take the Bucs.
All right, Clay's also going to take the Bucs. TJ, are you going to make this 4 out of 4 Bucs?
I got to take Seattle in this game. And here's the reason why. I think a lot of people aren't paying that much attention to Seattle, but they have a really good front four. They don't blitz, and they always seem to get home. And they're not one of those teams where quarterbacks can break off and run away. I mean, I watched the game versus the Arizona Cardinals this past Thursday. Those guys tackle. And then you also have Julian Love back, and you also have Witherspoon. So that's going to be an interesting matchup, Mecca Ibuka on Devin Witherspoon. I also like their running game. And they don't ask Sam Darnold to do much. They rely on running the football, setting up the play action, getting the ball to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and they have a really good red zone threat in tight end A.J. Barner. Like I said, they're a very underrated team. They don't have a bunch of household names for the exception of Cooper Kupp, but they do a lot of things well. They're fundamentally sound offensively, defensively, and special teams. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think it's going to be close, but I think that Seattle is probably going to end up winning this game by a field goal.
So we got TJ as the Lone Ranger, not taking the Buccaneers, but rather taking the Seahawks. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Now, Berto, we would transition on over to you, but your Falcons don't play football this week because they got an early bye week. So week 5, Falcons will be on a bye. They'll be back on the field for week 6. So we'll talk about them, of course, next week. So let's go ahead and let's transition down on over to Clay. Clay, you are playing the Miami Dolphins, one of the worst teams in the league. They are coming off their first win on the season, though, against the Jets. This feels like if you guys are going to string any wins together, Miami is the type of team you have to take advantage of. Will you guys do it this week?
If this Panthers team wants a shot to get back in the win column, there are three things they need to do. You need a heavy dose of Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle, all right? Somebody and anybody stepping up in coverage to go up against Waddle and Waller, which I know that J.C. Horn can handle Waddle, but Waller is the one that I'm more worried about between our linebackers and safety. And then Bryce Young, showing he can string together some drives without puking on his shoes, for God's sake. So I think Miami still has more firepower, even without Tyreek. I know it's a short week. It's a road game, sloppy defense. I mean, they're beatable, but I'm going to take the Dolphins. I just think that until proven otherwise that this Panthers team can be consistent, I'm taking the opposing team.
Clay is going to take the Miami Dolphins in this one. Let's go on over to TJ. TJ, could you see the possible upset?
Yep. The Miami Dolphins are not a good football team. The Jets are just undisciplined and pretty bad. So if you watch that game on Monday Night Football, I wouldn't put any stock into that. The Carolina Panthers can match up well against the Miami Dolphins. I don't really trust Tua Tagovailoa, as most people like to call him, Tua turn the ball over. And that's what he's going to do. I mean, it's just plain and simple, man. Like, this is an undisciplined football team. Mike McDaniels is on a hot seat. And this is a great opportunity for Carolina to be able to execute and do some things well. Yeah, you got to worry about Darren Waller in the red zone. And Devon Achane is a very underrated running back. People are starting to wake up to him. I like Ollie Gordon. He's more of a change of pace back. They're using him a little bit more. But they like these explosive plays down the field. And I just feel like if Carolina is able to kind of neutralize those down the field throws, those aggressive throws down the field, then they should be okay, man. I think Carolina has what it takes to win this football game. They run the football, stay ahead of the chains, utilize Teteroy McMillan. They'll be there in the end. So I got Carolina winning this football game.
We got Clay taking the Dolphins. We got TJ taking the Panthers. James, who are you taking?
I don't want to see Bryce Young throw up on his shoes. I mean, that's disgusting. So, but for me, you know, look, I'm going to take the Dolphins in this one. I really am. I just think that they have a better collection of talent, even with Tyreek Hill's leg exploding on Monday night. I think that they still have some talented weapons there. And ultimately, I just think they have a little bit more stability than what the Carolina Panthers are offering right now. And I'm kind of with Clay. Like, after this past, like, really, really bad loss, until proven otherwise, there's going to be a lot of times where I pick against the Panthers here. So for that reason, I'm going to be going with the Miami Dolphins.
All right, Berto, let's kick this one on over to you. Who are you going to take?
I think Carolina could be this week's Atlanta Falcons and come back, you know, after being humbled by the New England Patriots, come in and put in some work against a Miami Dolphins defense that ranks 26th in the league. They're piss poor in run defense, third down defense. And I think that Bryce Young, in order to, you know, reestablish himself, if you want to say that, and Dave Canales, they can put out a performance, you know, a memorable one against the Miami Dolphins. So give me the Panthers in this one, man. I'll take the Panthers.
So this one split perfectly down the middle. You got TJ and Berto taking the Panthers, and you got Clay and James taking the Dolphins. Let us know what you guys think about this game in the comments section below, because only half the panel is going to be right, and half the panel is going to be wrong heading into next Tuesday.
There he goes again. He does it again.
Who's going to be right? Who's going to be wrong? Who's going to be the loser? Who's going to be the winner? Find out next week.
Oh, shit.
But hey, let's go ahead and let's get into the next and final game here for week 5 of the NFC South. And that is the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. The Giants, who they looked pretty good last week. And of course, that's with rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, who also looked absolutely stellar. TJ, do you think you guys can get this win?
I like what they did last week. If they can stay disciplined and do some of the things that they did last week, I think they should be okay. I think that Kellen Moore, his experience going up against the New York Giants and Brian Daboll from his time with the Philadelphia Eagles might play a role in this. I understand that Jackson Dart is a rookie, so you don't know what he can really bring to the table. He seems like a guy that comes with a lot of fire, and, you know, he's not afraid to run down the field, lower the shoulder. But at the end of the day, you know, I think if the Saints can kind of keep this thing close, they can find themselves winning this football game. Look, the city of New Orleans needs this football game in a major way. And I also think that this is a game that will determine the fate of Spencer Rattler. Like, you can kind of understand losing to Buffalo and Seattle and the 49ers, even Arizona to a certain extent. But going up against a team that you are favored for the first time in this entire season, And they are a limited football team. Yeah, they got really good pass rushers, but they are a limited football team, and they're not very good. So I think if Spencer Rattler does not come away with a victory, he will be 0-11 as a quarterback, tying Troy Aikman. And I think you'll probably see Tyler Shuck next week versus your New England Patriots, Kobe. So this is a big game for Spencer Rattler to determine to see if he needs to continue to play and be the starting quarterback of the Saints.
Man, TJ, they don't want to see that game so bad that they flex us to 1 p.m. That's just sad.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
get it, James.
We got to get up earlier for work.
I get it.
I've had enough of you.
I get it. Wow, this guy sneak this like a mother, man.
Hey, just you wait.
Hey,
There's
how the
more to
Molly
come
have
around
Molly,
the
Get
head.
it over here.
Shit, dude.
Yeah,
6
there's
years
more
ago,
to
this
come.
would have been Sunday night. That would have been a Sunday night game.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
just you guys
That's
wait,
crazy.
man. More where that came from. But James, let's go on up to you. Do you also agree with TJ that this is a game that the Saints could win?
Colby's on his supervillain arc, okay?
Thank you,
I
man.
just want to
am.
make
I really
that
am.
perfectly clear here for
Oh
everyone
my
watching.
God.
Okay, listen, let me get the Saints in this one, okay? I got New Orleans winning this game. You heard it here first. TJ's making comparisons of Spencer Rattler to Troy Aikman. That's what I heard, okay? And that's encouraging. You know, that is encouraging on paper. So I think this is a game where the Saints are going to finally be able to put it all together. The Giants are hanging on by a thread. I mean, they're benching Russell Wilson. They're starting Jackson Dart, and everything looked like roses in the first week. I can see them coming back down to reality a little bit here in this game and losing this one to New Orleans. So let me get the Saints here in this one. I think this is where they do get their first win of the season.
There you go, TJ. 2 out of 2 Saints. Y'all are on the uprise. Berto, you also taking the Saints?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree, man. I'm going to go with the Saints on this one after coming off I'd say a decent performance in this regard. Keeping Allen in check. He only threw for, 202 yards. Kept him in check. What do you expect the Saints defense to do against a rookie quarterback? Brandon Staley, I think, will dial something up and get to the young quarterback, the rookie quarterback, and keep him at bay. Like James just said, back down to reality. So give me the Saints in this one.
Right. Berto is also going to take the Saints. Clay, you going to make this one 4 out of 4?
I think the Saints are going to win this game because Jackson Dart is going to be starting his first road test in that Superdome. That's not exactly the friendliest place for a rookie quarterback. I know they're sitting at 0-4. They just lost Malik Neighbors to a torn ACL. Unfortunately, that's his best weapon gone. Spencer Rattler has been fine at home, right? Not great, not terrible, but he's got a 90.7 passer rating in New Orleans, so that's at least serviceable. I mean, this is the same team that desperately needs to notch their first win under Kellen Moore. This game is definitely circled in red ink. In my opinion, the Giants are winless on the road. The Saints are running out of excuses, and someone's got to break through. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be a low-scoring game. But it'll probably come down to which kicker doesn't screw it up. But I'm going to take the Saints in this one.
This week, you get a win, you get a win, you get a win. And we want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Do you also think that the Saints are going to get a win? Let us know in the comment section below. But look, that is going to end it off for today's episode of the NFC South Roundtable.
Roundtable Sports Network.